This video is brought to you by PortraitMode.io. Portrait Mode is a platform for street photographers where you can upload your photos, build your portfolio, and showcase your work. The website is free, and among all submissions, the best photos will be featured on the website's homepage. Portrait Mode is a passion project of mine, and you can find out more and sign up for free at the link below in the video description. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in. As you see, we are currently building a new YouTube setup. I might actually paint the wall here in a darker gray. But yeah, let me know what you think. I got this shelf here, put all my gear up there, and I really like how that's coming together. Also, we are so close to hit 500 subscribers here on the channel. So if you can do me a favor, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. But anyways, let's dive right into the video. So if you've seen the video on my first roll of film, I will have that linked up here, and down below in the comments, I've noticed that the photos didn't quite come back as I had expected. The colors were a bit off and overall things just didn't look right. And I thought maybe something went wrong in the lab or maybe during scanning, and that is actually exactly what happened because I rescanned the film here at home, and I will show you exactly how I did it in a second. And yeah, the results were quite surprising. I will show you some of the comparisons at the end of the video, but let's have a look at the setup first. So first of all, I got this lens from 7 Artisans, which is a 60mm lens for APS-C cameras. It is a 2.8 manual focus lens, and it was recommended by a bunch of other YouTubers if you want to get started with digital camera scanning your film at home. To actually photograph and scan the photos, I used my Sony ZV-E10, as you might have guessed. Well, and there are a couple more things that you will need to scan your film at home. One is basically a light source. I'm using this LED panel. On top of that, I use a 35mm film carrier. This is something a good friend of mine has 3D printed for me, and it actually works pretty well, I gotta say. This is very cool because it comes with this dial here, so you can, advance the film easily. So usually you would use a copy stand to put all of this together, but I had an extension pole where I just basically screwed in an Arca Swiss plate and put it all together myself. And by the way, I will have links to all the gear that I'm using in this video down below for you in the video description. Okay, so after scanning the photos with the ZV-E10 and the 7 Artisans lens, I've then converted the negatives in Lightroom using Negative Lab Pro. I'm currently on their trial version, but I will definitely upgrade because yeah, the results are great, which you will see in just a second. So let's head over to the PC and let me show you how I converted the negatives, and then we're going to compare that to the scans that I got back from the lab. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom Classic, and this is one of the scans that I took. So first of all, we're gonna crop in a little bit here on the subject. As you can see, I took a wider shot and you can see the film carrier. So we will crop in just like that and keep a little bit of the border in the image. Hit enter. And now we are going to, actually let's rotate that a little bit. And now we can open Negative Lab Pro. Alright, so as you can see, I am still using the Negative Lab Pro trial, but I will definitely upgrade later today. So we will keep the settings default and just hit convert. Actually, I forgot one step, which is which is white balance. So basically what you want to do is white balance outside of the image where just the film is exposed. So just like that. Now go back in here. So as I said, we leave the settings on default and just hit convert. And boom, there we have it. So with Negative Lab Pro, you get a bunch of options, but again, we will mostly keep them on default. Lab standard, that's fine. Exposure is good actually. Brightness, -1. Contrast, well, I mean, this is not the greatest image, but it is just for you to get an idea on how this works and how it compares to what I got back from the lab. So by default, Negative Lab Pro sets the white balance to auto neutral, but we can go for codec. I shot the roll on codec Gold 200, but that's a little too much. So we're gonna go back to auto neutral, which is basically what I saw when I took the photo. Actually, we could make it a little warmer, just like that. Play with the tint a little bit. That's just fine. And hit apply. So now let's compare this to the photo that I got back from the lab. I mean, I haven't tweaked the colors yet or anything, but you can already see how much more detail we are seeing in the scan that I've done. Of course, the lab scan is much sharper. We have not applied any sharpening yet, but you can already tell by the level of detail how much better this is compared to what I got back from the lab. Well, they have retained a little more detail in the highlights, but overall I think they have basically predefined a look for the image a little. See, it's very high contrast, which makes sense or may not make sense. I think the problem is if you get back a scan like this, there's just no room for you to decide how much shadows and how much highlights you want to actually have in the image, because the shadows here, they're just gone. Here, we still have them available. Now this is the next photo we're going to convert, so let's crop it a little bit. That's just fine, hit enter. All right, so white balance first, somewhere around here, and open Negative Lab Pro again. All right, hit convert. Boom. Again, we can play around with the settings here a little bit. Just turn down the exposure just a little, brightness down just a little bit. I mean, this is again not an easy photo because we have very dark shadows here, very bright blown out highlights over here, and yeah, I will keep the settings just as they are for now. Maybe tweak the white balance a little. Again, that is set to neutral. Actually, let's keep it neutral and just hit apply. Now again, we're going to compare that to what I got back from the lab, which is this photo. And yeah, again, just by looking into the shadows here, we are losing so much detail on the lab scan compared to what we have here. Again, this is not sharpened, this is not color graded or anything. This is just basically a conversion. You can also see that basically the lab has decided a crop here for me, because this just goes until this, whatever this is. And right here we have a little more to work with. So this is something I also don't believe the lab should decide for you. And yeah, overall, my scan is much more true to the scene. And this is actually how I remembered the scene when I took this photo. It's definitely not that. All right, so let's have a look at another photo. This is another photo that I've scanned previously. As you can see, it is a little soft. It still needs some sharpening, but let's compare that to what I got back from the lab, which is this. So again, yeah, the colors are mushy. Actually, there is just not much color information in here. Also, the blacks are crushed. If you look down here or in the textures in the street, there's just much more detail left in the scan that I took with my Sony ZV-E10. They must have used some sort of a preset here or something, because all the highlights are super bluish. And again, we are using Kodak Gold 200, which is a warmer film. And yeah, again, this looks much more true to the scene. Okay, so let's look at two more photos. This is actually one that I really had high expectations for, and when I got this back from the lab, I was quite disappointed. And as you can see, the level of detail in the scan here on the right side, this is my scan over here, is just much better. Again, I think they have kind of predefined a look here for me, and the photo on the right side is again much more what I had remembered when I took this photo.
I'm not saying the colors here are much better or anything. Again, this is not yet color graded. It is just a base that you can really work with. I mean, if you look over here, the entire sky is yellow, while the actual image over here has a gradient. So yeah, this is a base you can then apply your edit on, or just leave it as is if you like. Anyway, on to the last image, and this is actually one of my favorite photos, and it is this one. Now for comparison, let's move the lab scan over here, and you can immediately tell the difference. So the colors on the lab scan are completely off. Again, we are shooting on Kodak Gold 200. The shadows are blue, while on my scan, the shadows are much more as they were when I was taking the photo. Of course, I have missed focus here a little bit, but the overall level of detail is much better on my scan. Actually, here's one more photo that I would like to show you. Again, on the left we see what I got back from the lab, and on the right we see the scan that I've taken with the ZV-E10. And by the way, I'm not saying you should not have your film scanned in the lab. You should definitely go and check them out and go to a source that you trust. But in my case, this just showed me that the lab that I was using is not it. I mean, if you compare these highlights here, I would rather have slightly blown out highlights compared to these crushed highlights over here on the lab scan. Also, the details in the shadows are much better on this scan over here.
So there you have it. This is how I have rescanned the photos from my first roll of film. And I gotta say, I'm actually super impressed with the results. As you saw, the lab scans were kind of muddy and had that bluish tint to it, while my scans turned out much more realistic actually. As I said earlier, I will have links down below to all the gear that I'm using in the video description. We are currently experimenting a little more with these 3D prints for the film carriers, and might actually also sell them on my website at some point. So yeah, make sure to be subscribed if you want to be updated on that. But yeah, that is it for this video, guys. If you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you will never miss when I upload a new video. Also, please give this video a thumbs up because that really helps to get this video in front of other people. Well, and that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.